In the Old Testament, right, the Sabbath is definitely Saturday, right? It's the seventh day of the week. Christians originally met in the synagogues in the same way Jews did, but they chose to meet on a Sunday on the first day of the week instead of the seventh day of the week in commemoration of the resurrection specifically. That's why they did that, right? Like it's explicit. The reason is explicitly given in the New Testament. That's why the Christians are doing that, right? So, right in Christian, right, and of course, Christianity in its origin is simply a sect of Judaism, right? It's like there are certain Jews who are like once Jesus, the Messiah, comes along, certain Jews affirm Jesus is the Jewish Messiah who died and rose from the dead. There are other Jews who say, no, no, that's a bunch of rubbish, right? So the people who affirm that Jesus is the Jewish Messiah and affirm that he died and rose from the dead, those are the Jew. That's the Jewish sect that becomes Christianity. So originally, right, they meet in the synagogues, right? There's not in the early decades of Christianity, there is no such thing as a church, right? It's only as time progressed and Christians are becoming unwelcome in the synagogues that then Christians are beginning to build their own places of worship. And St. Paul in the book of Romans basically says, well, it's up to you, right? He's like, some Christians are like, no, we need to observe the Sabbath, right? Like observing the Sabbath it's fundamental to what God asks of us as people. And there are other Christians who say, no, that was for the Israelites and now it doesn't matter. And what Paul says is in Romans is like, basically he's like, come to your own conclusion, and whatever you decide, whatever your conclusion is, do it, right? So like, so in essence, it's like no one has a way out, right? So what Paul says is like, if you are a person, if you're convinced that keeping Sabbath is a fundamental obligation of humans toward God, he's like, then you need to keep the Sabbath, right? There's like, you need to follow your conscience. And if you're a person that thinks like, no, that's for Israel and that doesn't apply to us anymore, then you need to abide, like you need to live that way.